As Ukrainian officials negotiate a peace agreement with Russia through diplomatic channels, Ukrainian soldiers have to keep holding the line on the ground. But holding this line has become increasingly difficult this year. Amid a deepening manpower crisis, many brigades struggle to replenish their infantry. The accelerated use of drones has also made it increasingly difficult to rotate between the positions. We spoke with two Ukrainian soldiers, Oleksandr Tishaiev and Oleksandr Aliksieienko, who spent almost 6 months defending the same battered position, without rotation. The interview was conducted in Ukrainian and is dubbed into English using AI. If you would prefer to listen to the original language, just click on the gearbox in the corner for other audio tracks and subtitles. Could you tell us about your military experience? Have you served anywhere besides the Zaporizhzhia sector?
We served only in the Zaporizhzhia sector. That's where we were deployed right after basic military training. In 2024, we stayed at our positions for about 14 to 16 days at a time, and it was considered to be a very long time. But since the beginning of 2025, the situation has changed completely. Now, if you spend a month at a position, you're lucky it's only a month. It's impossible to move and replace someone at a position without cover from the weather. Fog, rain, wind, only then can you move. And this summer there was neither rain nor fog, so we waited.
We waited for a long time, but we made it out.
At the end of spring 2025, the two men moved into their positions on the front line in Zaporizhzhia Oblast. But due to constant surveillance by Russian drones, the soldiers were effectively trapped there as soon as they took up their posts. All they could do was stay hidden and hope their unit could find a way to provide them with the essential supplies they needed to survive. Did Russian troops aim directly at your position, and how did you hide from them?
The attack started on the second or third day. I don't remember exactly. Explosives dropped by first-person view drones. If drones couldn't reach us, then mortars were fired. In the fall, I think even a tank fired at us because we couldn't hear it when it fired, but the impact came instantly. Also, artillery, grads, though they didn't reach very close to us. The position was also at an intersection. There was a road and an intersection with a tree line. And that road was constantly under their control. They watched the road, the neighboring positions, and ours. A drone constantly hovered. You try to get out, it doesn't work, you return. You do everything so they don't notice where you are. We tried to go out to hide, but still, to be safe, they would attack us again with drone-dropped explosives. They were destroying the position's cover so they could see deeper. There was a small trench and a little dugout. They were trying to get to the dugout. I have hearing issues and Kuzen has poor vision, so we decided who would get out based on our needs. If we needed to look, I did. If we needed to listen, Kuzen did. By day you mostly look, by night you listen. And when there are many drones and shelling, you mostly listen.
Yeah, you don't even attempt to look. In the very beginning, I had a severe concussion. They attacked us with gas, and then something exploded. I don't know what. I was unconscious for 4 hours. And then I couldn't get up for a week.
I understood they used gas because we were wearing gas masks. I was lying in the corridor and Kuzen was in the dugout. When I regained consciousness, I got on the radio with the duty officer. I asked how long I hadn't responded. They said 3 times and were supposed to report every hour. So I was unconscious for 3 hours, maybe a bit more. And then I spent another hour helping Cousin come to his senses. I placed him in a stable position and removed his gas mask. And I put some water on his face, gave him a few slaps. I woke him up.
Since other Ukrainian troops could not reach Tishaiev and Aliksieienko, food and water had to be delivered to them by drone. But many of their resupplies never made it to their position.
We went about a week without food and 6 days without water. That was the longest stretch. Other times we could go 3 days without water. 3 or 4 days is tolerable. When on the 7th day they dropped us a bottle of water, we were ecstatic. We shared it and drank it right away.
You drink at 6 in the morning and at 6 in the evening, a sip each time to save it.
No, by then it wasn't even by sips. By sips was when you squeezed wet wipes.
We squeezed wet wipes.
We also found those military field shower kits.
There were little packets with water, 25 milliliters.
There was a little water inside, but it's absorbed on your tongue instantly, and that's it. We had a schedule for drinking water. If there was more or less enough, we had 1 sip every 3 hours. If there wasn't enough, then 1 sip every 6 hours, and quite often there wasn't enough. We saved it. With food, it was mixed. We finished whatever we had. There was some sausage the mice hadn't finished yet, so we ate it. We fought for that sausage. We managed to maintain some sort of normal living conditions for around 2 weeks.
Well, supplies lasted.
Then they weren't normal. Okay, it went like this. If there was a chance, you could sleep an hour, 2, 3, as much as possible, have a bite if there was anything, and that's it.
You could also drink tea if you had it.
And you rotate with your brother in arms to let him rest if he can fall asleep. I can't even explain to you how the day passes there, because it feels like being on autopilot. Everything is the same. In the dugout we had somewhat arranged sleeping places with sleeping bags, but because there were constant drone and artillery attacks, we stayed in the armor. And you can't fit into a sleeping bag in your armor, you would take off the vest maybe for an hour a day, and that was on a good day.
What role did Ukrainian drones play in helping you survive, since people couldn't physically reach you?
Drones? Without drones, we couldn't have sat there that long. Drones play an important role. They supply food to us, protect us, watch over us, do reconnaissance, do combat work. A drone can do combat tasks for half the night and for another half deliver supplies. Our pilots are great. Many of our supplies were destroyed immediately because they track where a parcel lands, and immediately a Russian drone arrives, drops an explosive, and the parcel is gone. Usually you instruct drone pilots where it's best to drop it, either right at the entrance to your position or further away if you don't want that parcel to be spotted. They dropped it in various spots. You could run 5 to 10 meters away to get it. If it didn't land close enough, sometimes even up to 20. And sometimes it's just 2 meters away, but you can't get to it. It just lies there.
After more than 160 days of waiting and enduring constant Russian attacks, a shift in the weather on the 28th of October provided a rare window of opportunity.
Once we ran out of food and water, and the parcel arrived, but it landed far away. We tried to get to it, and I was already looking outside, and I said, it's quiet. There's fog, maybe we'll go home. What do we need that parcel for? We call the commander and say, we have suitable weather for trying to come back. The commander said, yes, just wait for the replacement. We waited, but with the replacement, they couldn't quite get all the way to us. We waited as long as we could, and then we said we had to go because we might not make it out in time. We were exhausted. I don't even remember what time we took off. But we were on the go for about 3 hours. You walk and fear every bush because someone might jump out. Your weapon is loaded, off safety. There was no vehicle for a long time, so we looked for a place where, if they didn't pick us up, we could set up a position there. The road was bad. They don't drive on asphalt there anymore, but across the field. And the soil is heavy, it sticks, you can't even walk there easily, and driving is even harder. But thank God, we got out. And there were other guys with us. It wasn't just us who were being evacuated. There was also...
Kinder, right?
Yes, Kinder was there. And Pew, 2 guys, they also stayed at their position for a long time. What did he say, 100 days, right?
Yes, 3 months, a bit more.
Something
And
like
Pew
that.
was wounded.
Yes, Russians planted a mine near their dugout. An anti-tank one, it exploded and Pew was badly injured. He couldn't stand for a month, he had a fracture. What was it? A vertebra, right?
I think so.
And a collarbone fracture, or maybe an arm fracture.
They took him to surgery right away.
The other one was concussed, and the 2 of them also stayed at their position for a long time. By the way, Pew, the one who was wounded, he walked out on his own. Everything healed more or less. Well, the doctors will have to re-break something.
When they came back from the front line, one feeling consumed them both.
Fatigue takes over. Such fatigue.
You really want to wash.
To tidy your beard.
Yes, more than anything you want a shower.
Quiet, to lie down so nothing bothers you, doesn't fly, doesn't boom.
In your opinion, what could help prevent cases like yours, where soldiers spend 100, 200 or even more days at their positions?
Making better decisions when it comes to choosing a position, maybe not far but safer. Sacrifice those 100 meters of destroyed tree line. Our life isn't worth that. This area could have been controlled simply with drones. Our unmanned systems are our everything. It's just very hard for Ukraine. There are fewer of us, it's difficult. We don't have such powerful weapons and not enough ammunition to operate the way they do. Let's say if we needed to relocate and if we had that capacity, we could have just struck their firing points. We know approximately where they are. Our soldiers could have just fired at them, allowing us to get out in the meantime. I'm speaking in general terms, of course. But since we have difficulties with this, it is what it is. Even if command wanted to rotate us, they wouldn't have been able to.
There are thousands of stories like this one from the front line, stories that resonate deeply and shed light on the realities facing those on the ground. Your support as readers and viewers allows us to continue bringing you these stories from Ukraine. If you want to support independent journalism, consider joining our community by following the link in the description below.